Hey everybody, it's Jack and welcome to the video. In today's video, I'm going to be looking over and analyzing a penny stock that I think has potential for huge growth. We're talking the potential to 5 or 10x in the next few years, so lots and lots of growth potential. I'll be diving into the background and business model of the company. I'll also be looking over the company's financials and going through the latest quarterly report. At the end, I'll give my final thoughts on whether or not I think the stock is a buy, and if it is, at what price point and what time horizon. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's dive right in. As I go over the stock in depth, I'm going to be using a 4-item checklist. This is just a really quick way that you can analyze a stock to see if it's potentially a good buy for you. The first item on the checklist is going to be the overall product or offering of the company. Is it something that I can believe in? And that also, is it in a market, a good market that I think has growth potential? So that's item number 1 on the checklist. Item number 2 is going to be the revenue. Has the revenue been growing year over year? Or at least in the last year, has the revenue seen a good increase? With the same thing for item number 3, but for income, has the profit or income of the company been seeing growth? Going to make sure that the income has seen consistent growth and is going in the right direction, up. And the final item on the checklist, item number 4, is going to be the current assets to current liabilities ratio. So is the current assets greater than the current liabilities? It's just kind of a good way to see the risk of the company and to make sure the company has overall good financial well-being. If anything were to go south, is the company in a good position to be able to succeed through that? Or is it going to go belly up? So again, to reiterate, these are just 4 quick checklists to make sure that the company's in good standings and potentially one that I would consider buying. So we're going to look into the 4 items. So the company I will be analyzing today is Good Natured Products, ticker symbol GDNP. It's currently trading at $1.68 and has a market cap of $267.5 million. But before we look at the stock chart for Good Natured Products, let's jump a little bit more into what the company does. So Good Natured Products, who are they as a company and what exactly do they do? So their slogan is better everyday products made from plants, not petroleum. So from this, we can already see that they're a plant-based company, and specifically, they're actually a plant-based company that deals with packaging product. Good Natured focuses on bioplastic products. Their goal is to remove the need for single-use plastics and packaging by creating a creative alternative method that uses plant-based and renewable materials. It's pretty crazy to think that the packages on screen are all plant-based. They look identical to the petroleum-based products that we are so used to in today's world. Looking at Good Natured's corporate summary, it's pretty killer. They have 9 manufacturing and sourcing locations across North America, 385 plus products across 5 different business groups, 500 recurring business-to-business customers in over 50 states or provinces, and 20,000 plus annual direct-to-consumer transactions. They've perfectly diversified themselves with hundreds of products across 5 different business groups, allowing them to generate revenue from a wide range of income streams and verticals. Another important thing to note is that Good Natured is positioned extremely well when it comes to its executives. The executive team all has diverse and very impressive backgrounds. Starting it all off at the top with the CEO, Paul, who I will not even try to pronounce his last name, was the former CEO at Best Buy Europe, as well as being the senior vice president of sales for Best Buy US, responsible for $30 billion in sales strategy. The rest of the leadership team nicely covers all the other technical areas. You've got the CTO, who has a PhD in bioplastics packaging. For the finance side, you have the CFO, who specializes in acquisitions and raising capital. And then on the marketing side, you have the CMO, whose background specializes in large-scale marketing campaigns and brand strategy. So overall, this is a very well-diverse leadership team and one that I would feel comfortable in helping the company to grow over time. Another important thing to note is that management and insider ownership actually own 33% of the company. This is always a really nice thing to see because you know that ownership and management has skin in the game financially and that they don't want the company to go under. The market Good Natured is in, the sustainable consumer goods market, is seeing extreme growth year over year in the past few years and is expected to continue to grow at 4 times the average industry. Good Natured has positioned itself extremely well in the growing market and is taking advantage of it. Its revenue has grown significantly year over year over year for the past 6 years. This revenue growth has just been getting faster and faster in 2020. If you look at quarter 4, you can see that in 2020, revenue almost doubled that of 2019. So the company is growing extremely fast. So let's refer back to our checklist and see if we can start crossing items off the list. The first item on the list is the overall company and product, something I can believe in and something that I think can grow. For me, the answer to this question is yes. Good Natured Products has over 385 products across 5 different business groups that all help solve a real-world problem, the problem of single-use plastics. And the sustainable product market is supposed to just continue to grow over the years. I think the market potential is actually going to grow at even a faster rate than predicted because of Canada's implementation of its single-use plastics ban starting this year in 2021. The country's nationwide ban is banning several different items, the most notable being foodware made from hard-to-recycle plastics. This falls right into Good Natured Products' wheelhouse and is the exact type of items that they are trying to provide a sustainable alternative to. All these great things, coupled with the amazing leadership team that Good Natured Products has in place, checks this item off the list for me. Item number 2 on the list is revenue growth, and I think we can go ahead and check that off from what we've previously seen with the year-over-year revenue growth of Good Natured Products. For the last 2 items on the list, let's crack open Good Natured Products' latest quarterly financial report. So what I currently have open is Good Natured Products' 3rd quarter financial report for 2020. So the piece of information we care about most in this document is the final line. The final line is the net income for the given period. The brackets around a number signifies that it is a negative number and therefore a loss. So we can actually see that Good Natured Products is not profitable and is actually losing money. Let's first look at the 2 numbers farthest left on the bottom row. The farthest left is this quarter 3 net income, and the number to the right is last year, quarter 3. The number on the left is higher, which signifies that Good Natured Products has actually lost more money this quarter than they were losing last year. The 2 numbers on the far right of the bottom row are the same, but for the trailing 9-month period. So we can see that the number on the left signifies that Good Natured Products has lost $4 million in the past 9 months, compared to just over $2.5 million in loss in 2019, trailing 9 months. It is important to note that it's fairly common for new companies or fast-growing companies to take on debt in order to grow. It's definitely worth mentioning that the company has been growing revenue quarter after quarter, yet their net income is actually going in the wrong direction and they're becoming less profitable. The main reason for this loss of profit is because of Good Natured Products' growth strategy. They are taking on debt to acquire new customers, as well as acquire companies that are smaller than them in order to grow their product base. Another thing worth mentioning is that Good Natured Product is projected to become profitable in the second half of 2021. So with that being said, Good Natured Products does not pass the checklist item for income or profit growth. However, I will add an asterisk because the company is taking on debt through acquisitions in order to grow the company, as well as it is projected to be profitable in the next quarter or 2. Jumping back into the most recent financial report, let's look for the current assets to current liabilities ratio. So we grab the current assets and we divide it by the current liabilities, and this gives us a ratio. The higher the ratio, the better, but above 1 means that at short term, if anything were to happen to the company, it would be able to pay off all of its short-term debts and survive. So Good Natured has a ratio of 1.45, which is pretty good, so it passes this test. So we can go ahead and check it off of our checklist. Now that we're done our analysis, we can go and look again at the chart for Good Natured Products. We can see that over the last month, Good Natured Products has gone from under $1 per share to almost $2 per share, and since then, in the last week, we've seen it pull back to $1.68 where it currently stands. Overall, I think Good Natured Products is a really good company that has a great product that solves a real-world issue. Sustainable packaging is something that the world is moving towards, and is a great alternative to single-use plastics that we currently have. I think the industry as a whole is going to see extreme growth over the next couple of years. I also really like the executive team that Good Natured Products has around it. However, as with any penny stock, there is a certain amount of risk involved with being an investor. I think that's also more the case with Good Natured Products because, like I showed, they haven't had any profits to date. They're currently taking on debt to grow the business, which is definitely a higher risk. I personally think that Good Natured Products is a little overvalued right now with the run-up over the past month that the share price has seen, coupled with the fact that the company hasn't seen any profits yet and that it's taking on quite a bit of debt. I personally am going to wait for the share price to drop down to between the $1 and $1.50 range before I purchase a position in the stock. However, I could be totally wrong, and the stock price could continue to surge over the next few weeks, and I could be left in the dust. So it's totally preference, but again, I do think this company is going to see extreme growth in the long run. In the short time, I think we might still see a pullback a little bit farther. That's my overall analysis on good-natured products. If there's other ticker symbols or other stocks that you want me to do an analysis on, please leave the ticker symbol down below in the comments, and I'll make sure to check them out. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all my new content. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.